This is Camnet News. Thank you so much for choosing us. This is Camnet News, which is balanced and biased and factual. The top stories on our desk: CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI labels the UPND as a tribal and selfish political party. A family of LUSAKA'S CHAZANGA compound left homeless following the collapse of their house. RAPHAEL NAKACINDA'S group continues to haunt MUMBA as it vows to stop the party convention. In international news, Chad president seeks a 6th term of office. And in sports news, ZANACO, LUSAKA, DYNAMOS, ZESCO and KONKOLA blades in ABSA semis. Join me shortly for the details.
Zambia, your time of spiritual revival and awakening is now. Once again, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chilua invites the nation of Zambia to a 2-day conference on the order of Melchizedek with Dr. Francis VOWS. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill. Dates, 19th and 20th of March 2021. Saturday 14 hours to 18 hours. Sunday 09 hours to 12 hours. Make a date with us.
The details. Saturday's heavy rains in Lusaka resulted in the collapse of a house belonging to the Tembo family of CHAZANGA compound. The family of 8 is now stranded as it has nowhere to go. The house is believed to have been constructed on top of a stream 7 years ago. Patrick Soko filed this report.
The 2020-2021 rain season has continued to manifest havoc in various communities of the greater city of Lusaka in view of climate variability. But it is also true that it has equally exposed inefficiencies in the planning of the city, which is made up of several unplanned settlements and have been highly affected by floods. Misisi compound in Chawama constituency is among communities highly affected, and it has attracted the intervention of the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit. CHAZANGA compound, Maichora area in Mandevu constituency has not been spared as the area has bad roads and there is no drainage system. Hence, when it rains, this is what happens. This house could not withstand the pressure in the waterlogged area, hence it collapsed, leaving a family of 8 homeless, forcing them to be sleeping outside. The Tembo family is asking for help to rebuild their house from the government and other well-wishers.
So, naona yako one side juku ndio kusupaini na choka panja hawana na choka panja but kulibana zichitapwa wonse tunachoka kulibana zichitapwa so ine chomene nipempa cha tandizo pogona na gona panja na bana nipempa tandizo timutandizire kuti pezeko pogona le sinimvera kuno ninodwa
nyumba yalira yapumuka yabwera yago tabata chokamo mwana mozi ndana salamu ndipo tinabwera wendo mutenga sota mutenga kujoka panja abantu bakoya bonifusa ni cyane tichekini kasi ni mani kai papita mazi na shida ngese te nyumba ite bwanji sofa mwita kwa nyumba tibe kwa mwana ngaende kuti akati tandizire kutagona pamene panja na bana kutagona ya panja bana so vaswati nzozunguka tanza ti mutitandizire kumtimangire tuna bana basikuru nezo dwazika mnanga zodwala so tandizo nipe iliyo mfulu mwanga litandizire so nipempa ko tandizo tani mangire ko ananga neko kubana.
And members of the community are asking authorities to help them construct a drainage system in order to avoid flooding in the area.
Chotifuta mwai kwa ife monga abantu bakuti tinabwera uzakagona nawo panja atembo kulindira kuti kapena agone bwanji. Tiri kupempha kwa aliyense amene angafuna kutithandiza kuti please abwere msanga pali pano tikalugona panja pamodzi na abantu atembo vana endo ikiza somewhere. Ni bwino kuti mwina ngati kuli wofuna kutithandiza abwere msanga tione moyo tingachitire. Yes, akawala baliko ni bambiri kuno koma tulugona panja kamba kuti tufuna kuti mzathu tuone moyo tingamthandizire. Ife ndifa community timathandiza chabe wazathu kuno.
Drainage ngati kulibe manzi yamankalira. So that's why tipempa kuli baboma kutitandizira pa issue ya drainage, kutandizira bwino so that manzi yazipita. Ngakale pamene pankala kutandizira kumanga kwa nyumba, ngati nyumba izamangi wachape kulibe drainage kuja nyumba situmo manzi yazavuta futi.
As things stand, the Tembo family is helpless and may continue living like this if assistance is not rendered. It is with hope that their prayers will be answered. Patrick Soko, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Sad state of affairs there. Government says it attaches great importance to the well-being of women countrywide, especially those in rural areas. Gender Minister Elizabeth Perry says women empowerment translates into poverty reduction in the country. She was speaking during the handover ceremony of assorted equipment to the women in Sanzala constituency of Eastern Province. The minister encouraged women to be more productive in producing cooking oil, honey, eggs and chickens that could feed even the urban areas. And Musanzala area member of parliament Peter Daka, who was present at the event, says Eastern Province has evolved to become the country's food basket over the years. About 12 women clubs drawn from different wards have benefited from the donated empowerment of equipment, which include the peanut butter making machine, oil expeller, solar drip irrigation, solar incubators and maize shellers.
Ivi vataleta lero tupasa tiara makilabu kuti agwiririre koma mva muntu aliyense. Makilabu yamene azasogolera, yamene azaviyanganira, kapena ma-cooperatives yamene azaviyanganira, koma kusebenzesha ni muntu aliyense malinga na capacity ya utasebenzesheko. Chaniwa wakuti mungasalire kuvuli. Naleta ibitione vati mchitena. Osati mweteretera kantu kamozi kankale kamozi kamene karayai. Tufuna muri hivi muvyalike vyakini. Vamukumbwira kumtima kwanu. Ero tufuna kuti onse aite benefit.
The iron part about it is that we allow these products to go out of the district, to go out of the province, to go and get processed elsewhere. But your gesture today of coming here to bring value addition, meaning that the chimponde which is being made elsewhere will be made in Sanzala at Kakuya village or at Mzeka village, is a milestone for the Zambian people and for the women at large.
Nutokoza kuli mwewa minister mwamene mwawela pano, mwamene muli ulalowasu, pamene mwatiletera vitukuko vafika kuno, tenzola kalaka kuti tichitetia.
The Southern African Center for Constructive Resolution and Dispute (ZANACO) has appealed to all political leaders and their members to desist from engaging in violent communication against the judiciary, among other public institutions of governance. ZANACO Executive Director Boniface Chembe says disrespecting governance institutions erodes public confidence in the eyes of the ordinary citizens. Mr. Chembe's appeal comes after a statement was issued by the ruling Patriotic Front's PF Lusaka Province Chairperson Paul Monga, who accused some judges of working with the opposition to disqualify the candidature of President Edgar Lungu ahead of the August 12th general elections. Mr. Monga warned that the PF's eyes are on every judge holding clandestine meetings with the opposition. The PF's top leadership, however, disowned Mr. Monga's statement, saying it disrespects the autonomy of the judiciary.
Conflict resolution institutions need to command the confidence of the public as they assist in addressing grievances of the conflicting parties. The public can only go before these institutions if they believe that their grievances will be addressed in an impartial manner that allows for justice to prevail. When the public lose confidence and trust in conflict resolution institutions, such as the judiciary, the likelihood that they would use the streets through violent means to address their grievances increase, and when this happens, it provides a basis for a hot conflict or civil strife. SACOD therefore appeals to all political leaders, individuals and political parties to desist from engaging in violent communication against the judiciary or indeed any other institution of governance, as this contributes to the erosion of public confidence in these institutions of governance. One of the main reasons Zambia has maintained and sustained her peace is because citizens, either from the ruling or opposition parties, have always preferred to use conflict resolution institutions such as the judiciary to resolve their differences amicably and peacefully, and this should remain the case. In countries where citizens have stopped using established institutions to resolve their grievances, wars have characterized these societies. It is therefore welcome that the ruling PF top leadership have distanced themselves from such violent communication, and we hope that this remains the case before, during and after.
Republican Progressive Party RPP President Leslie Chikose has now clocked 2 weeks in police custody following his arrest. Police arrested and detained Mr. Chikose on allegations of obtaining money by false pretenses, but Party Secretary General Kesha Sakapelwa has demanded that their leader be freed or taken to court for the alleged crimes being leveled against him. Mr. Sakapelwa states that Mr. Chikose is innocent until the courts find him guilty, hence asking the police to take him to court other than keeping him behind bars. The party Secretary General explains that his party has met all bond conditions, but police are not keen on releasing Mr. Chikose. Meanwhile, Mr. Kapelo has urged President Edgar Lungu not to assent to the Cyber Security and Cyber Crimes Bill into law because it stands against the rights of the Zambian people.
This country was founded on the pretext of democratic principles with which Zambians have every right to express themselves. It's by law that I should express myself. That which I do not see fit and that does not appeal to the majority poor, I have to stand out and speak for the Zambian people. If I do that, the law that is only applied, it's animal farm. That's what we are experiencing right now. There is a certain piece of legislation that is for others and another for others. Yet we are all Zambians. We can't continue like that. We demand that Leslie Chikose, as we move on tomorrow, please, can the police service apply the law justly? This man has been in custody for more than 14 days.
National Democratic Congress Party President CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI has labeled the opposition United Party for National Development UPND as a tribal and selfish political party. Addressing NDC members via telephone in Chipata during the party's elective conference, Mr. KAMBWILI charged that the UPND is a party only interested in using other political parties for its selfish political gains. Mr. KAMBWILI informed the delegates that he went to work with the UPND with a view of changing them, but found it difficult to do so. He further accused those who have chosen to remain in the UPND alliance as people who wanted to sell the NDC to the highest bidder. Let's listen in.
The National Chairperson Mobilization has just officially opened the provincial conference here in Eastern Province, and we have just dissolved the old executive and we are going into elections. We said before we go ahead, you speak to the delegates, and I wanted to report to you that they have unanimously agreed that after this election, they are going flat out to grow NDC, and they are not ready to go and work for UPND, who wanted us to go and field all our candidates on UPND. They are supporting you, and they just want to hear your voice. You are on loud, Mr. President, sir.
Good morning, Eastern Province Executive and Eastern Province structures. I want to thank you for being magnanimous and refuse people who have always wanted to use other people for their own personal and tribal gain. As your leader, I would not want to support a grouping that is going to divide this country. We formed NDC to serve the people of Zambia, to give them hope, and to unite them. But there's a certain political party which just believes in themselves and where they come from. When we went to work with them, we said, where I come from, they say, when people are saying these people are like this, these people are like this, you better go and be close to them and really find out if you can help to change them. But I can tell you, I failed. Because even some of the people that were with from NDC, pretending to be NDC, were actually UPND. And they wanted to sell NDC to the highest bidder, which I could not accept as your leader.
On the 9th of August 2017, Mr. KAMBWILI, in the company of former NDC Secretary General Mwenya Musenge, went to Southern Province to apologize to the people of that region on similar remarks. Prior to the 2016 general elections, Mr. KAMBWILI, then as chief government spokesperson and appearing on ZNBC's Sunday interview program, said Tongas are so tribal such that they would rather vote against Jesus Christ for Hakainde Hichilema. This statement infuriated the Tongas, but Mr. KAMBWILI, with the help of Mazabuka's Member of Parliament Gary Nkombo, travelled to Monze to render a formal public apology to the people of Southern Province. The meeting took place at Chief Monze's Palace and was attended by, among other chiefs, such as Chief Chikanta, Chief Hamusonde, and Chief Chona. Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Malangi has appointed Engineer Desh Badu Bassett as Honorary Consul of Zambia in Nepal. Zambia's High Commissioner to India, Judith Kapijimpanga, said the position of honorary consul does not come with a salary as it is for citizens of the host country where they live, but they are designated by a foreign government to look after the affairs of its citizens. She said Zambia has the Victoria Falls, one of the 7th natural wonders of the world, while Nepal has the Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, which can help the two countries to benchmark effectively in tourism to spur economic growth and increase trade volumes. The newly appointed honorary consul of Zambia in Nepal, Engineer Desh, has pledged to install the Zambian flag on Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, as a sign of friendly relations between Zambia and Nepal.
On the trade part, I feel that Zambia and Nepal can start our first relation by signing a MOU with Federation of Chamber of Commerce and Zambia Chamber of Commerce, so that we can take our business level into a new level, so that a lot of business community from both the end can interact with each other and know the potential about Zambia, and later on they can go for the investment in Nepal.
I am confident that as Honorary Consul of Zambia in Nepal and Chairman of the Federation of Nepalese Chambers of Commerce and Industry, you will use your influence to further our relations in areas of trade and tourism, health, and education.
RAPHAEL NAKACINDA'S group continues to haunt Nevis MUMBA. This and more after the break.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, my dear. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You've heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, Live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
This is Camnet News. Thank you so much for staying on. The Operation Save MMD, led by RAPHAEL NAKACINDA, has vowed to stop the party convention slated for Saturday 20th March 2021. The group says it is regrettable that Dr. MUMBA has declared himself as sole candidate ahead of the convention. Mr. NAKACINDA says the forthcoming convention is illegal as the party has not held elections at lower organs. Meanwhile, Mr. NAKACINDA says the National Executive Committee meeting that was attended by various members made a number of resolutions, including working with the Patriotic Front. But MMD spokesperson Kefas Mokoka has maintained that Mr. NAKACINDA has no say on the affairs of the party as he remains expelled, adding that the convention will go on as scheduled.
Events continue to unfold in the build-up to the 12 August general elections as various political parties get their troops ready via the adoption process, which has seen new entrants vying for leadership. However, the former ruling party is again a subject of political wrangles. And this is a group calling itself the Operation Save Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, MMD. They claim to have the numbers compared to the MMD led by Dr. MUMBA, and Operation Save MMD General Secretary RAPHAEL NAKACINDA has vowed to stop the party convention slated for Saturday 20th March 2021 at all costs. He says Dr. MUMBA's mandate has expired, adding that it is regrettable that he declared himself a sole candidate ahead of the convention. And Mr. NAKACINDA says the forthcoming convention is illegal as the party did not hold elections at lower organs.
We're going to stop that convention at all costs. And definitely, when we succeed in stopping that convention, other decisions will be made following that development. Now, like I said, we have been to court before. There are matters that have not yet been resolved. So, in that case, I'm sure you have seen the multitudes of people here. These are just basically a drop in the MMD ocean of many members across the country who are the sum total of what MMD is all about.
Meanwhile, Mr. NAKACINDA says the National Executive Committee meeting that was attended by various members made a number of resolutions, including working with the Patriotic Front.
And on this one, we want to make it clear. We are supporting the Patriotic Front on the condition that a presidential candidate for 2021 general election is President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Number 3, we give a mandate to His Excellency President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu to deploy our members of parliament, our councillors, our council chairpersons, and MMD structures and its leadership in a manner that will make the campaigns effective to attain the much desired results of more than 50% +1 in the first round.
But MMD spokesperson Kefas Mukuka has maintained that Mr. Nakachinda has no say on the affairs of the party as he remains expelled, adding that a convention will go ahead as scheduled.
So, Mr. Nakachinda actually is going nowhere. You may wish to know that he is not our member, and I'm emphasizing here, insisting that he is not our member. In yesterday's meeting, we were 50 of us, okay? Because the NEC of the party is supposed to consist of 68 members. So we were 50. And this tells you that our members are serious. And we are going ahead with our national convention because there's nothing wrong we have done. For him who is not actually our member to be telling us what to do.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Inspector General of Police Kakoma Kanganja has directed police officers under his command to remain firm on the ground and ensure that any form of lawlessness is curtailed by bringing all offenders to book. Mr. Kanganja says it is disappointing that some members of political parties have taken tolerance of the police being as witnesses. He says what transpired on Friday, 12th March 2021 on the Copperbelt, where some cadres took to the streets and began throwing stones at the police, resulting in some sustaining injuries, will not be tolerated. He says what happened in Kitwe was a clear indication of schemes aimed at promoting breakdown in law and order under the guise of politicking, which shall not be taken lightly. The police chief says they will not tolerate anyone that would deliberately disregard provisions of the law under the guise of politics.
Police officers have a constitutional duty to enforce laws to safeguard public security and order. Therefore, they should be given space to do their job. Thuggery conduct, such as the one exhibited by political cadres in Kitwe, shall not be tolerated by my command, and I want all those that were involved in the fracas to be dealt with accordingly. I further call on officers to remain firm on the ground and ensure that all forms of lawlessness is immediately thwarted by bringing to book all offenders. Police officers are reminded to always carry with them policing equipment which government has procured for them, such as long batons, handcuffs, and tear gas canisters, whenever they are on duty, and should use them when situations demand. I'm advising political party leaders to tame their members and ensure that they engage in responsible and peaceful politics as stipulated in Article 60, subsection 3b of the Constitution, as opposed to the exhibited thuggery behavior. The Zambia Police Service will not tolerate anyone that would deliberately disregard provisions of the law under the guise of politics, and people should not complain of intimidation when officers react. Those that will be found wanting will be dealt with firmly within the confines of the law.
But the opposition United Party for National Development says the arrest and detention of UPND youths by police who were participating in the Youth Day celebrations in Kitwe is a gross violation of their constitutional rights to freedom of assembly and association. UPND National Chairman Gilbert Liswaniso is disappointed that police is deliberately engaging in organized cruelty and degrading schemes targeted at UPND members, particularly the young people, as the country prepares for the August 12th general elections.
So I'm appealing to those police officers, overzealous police officers, can you stop this? You can't bring down UPND where it's reached now. Leave us. Yesterday, those who are casuals, they were celebrating on their way. Those who are workers, they were celebrating on their way. Even as the use of UPN, we were celebrating on our way across the country. But why do you want to choose on the UPN of Copper Bid? You want to arrest them. You put them in the cells. It's for what? I want to make an emphasis that can you stop that strategy you are using with the PF? You stop it now. All political parties should go on the ground and campaign. Let's not use the system of the police to come and clamp down the UPN. And I want to assure you and across the country that the UPND youths are ready to form government. We are ready to form government. We are not going to allow an individual who is an officer who is being used by a cadre in PF to come and bring chaos to us. We are saying no to it. We are not a violent party. We have distanced ourselves, we have said no to it, but it's like we want to force the UPND by doing wrong things. We don't want that. Let's concentrate on the things which brings food on the table, which gives young people employment, which gives input to the young people in the rural part of Zambia. That's what we want to see. Then every time we wake up, it is police. Wake up, police. Wake up, police. What's that?
Police in Kaoma district of Western Province have arrested a male adult alleged to have murdered his biological mother, aged 59, using a door frame. The motive of the murder has not yet been established. The murder is reported to have occurred on the 13th of March 2021 between 16 hours and 17 hours at Kalukundwe area of John Mulea village in Kaoma district. Monsaka Mwetwa, age 48, of Chindama village in Chief Mutondo, reported that his aunt, identified as Sarah Monkombwe, aged 59, was murdered by her biological son, identified as Kennedy Mulea. Zambia Police spokesperson Esther Katongo has confirmed the sad development in a statement.
In Kaoma district, we have in our custody a male adult alleged to have murdered his biological mother, aged 59. This is reported to have occurred on 13th March 2021 between 16 hours and 17 hours at Kalukundwe area in John Mulea village in Kaoma district. The suspect, identified as Kennedy Mulea, is alleged to have hit his mother with a door frame which had protruding nails, hence sustained cuts on both hands and had a deformed face. The body of the deceased person is in Kaoma district mortuary awaiting post-mortem, while the suspect is in our police custody yet to be charged with murder.
Ndola Central aspiring member of parliament for Wezi Musichili has challenged all political parties to adopt more women for the August 12th general elections. Ms. Musichili said women have proved to be better leaders once given the mandate, especially at community level. She said President Edgar Lungu is already a supporter of women participation in politics and is positive that this year the ruling Patriotic Front would take lead in women adoption. Ms. Musichili said this during her continued community service in Ndola's Kansenshi Township, where she led her team in the rehabilitation of Ndibu Drive Township Road near Kansenshi Market. She said such civic duties should not be left to city councils alone, but that some corporate entities and individuals should supplement government's effort by helping maintain the outlook of the city. Ms. Musichili later visited Kansenshi Market, where she interacted with traders and also donated some COVID-19 materials. She encouraged the traders to remain focused and positive during this period of the pandemic, that the government is doing everything possible to ensure that people are not further adversely affected by the pandemic.
I feel the civil works like this should not just be left by the councils alone, but by corporate entities and individuals to supplement government's efforts. So I just want to urge all my friends and individuals and partners to actually supplement government's efforts by coming in and putting our hands together. This has been my neighborhood from my childhood I was at Kansenshi Primary School, and then I've also been doing my shopping from Kansenshi Market. So I just want to encourage everyone to come and participate, because such works are not supposed to be left by the councils alone, but by corporate entities and individuals to supplement government's efforts by helping and maintaining the outlook of our city. I just want to say thank you. Natotela wonse, tola wombera pamo.
Ichintu mwandi ni mama tepa kuleka. So noroma vote nomba tufuletu vote la kiomu anakashi munezu. Bantu pako bomba bombe fi. Aka chishapo. Oji. Aka peli mbeka.
CHAZANGA constituency UPND leadership has vowed not to work with candidates who have not contributed anything to the development of the area. The UPND members, led by CHAZANGA constituency youth chairman Vincent Siachibondo and CHAZANGA district UPND trustee Bodwin Monga, has indicated that the party in the district will only support leaders who have positively contributed to the well-being of the people in the area. The members have since urged the party to retain incumbent Member of Parliament Gift Sialuwalo for the many development initiatives in the constituency he has brought since assuming office. According to the members, Mr. Sialuwalo, using his personal resources, has built schools, market shelters and empowered several women and youth-led groups. They have since warned the party against adopting unpopular candidates against their wishes.
Mavochi onse tiyo mupa twamushomezi gaiwamba kuti uno mwaka wa 2021 tunolandi nye mu State House alimwi twamushomezi gaiwamba kuti uno mwaka tatiyandi kucheba musure peti yandabe kulanga kumbere alimwi 2021 ngwa munyoyu ba president tiyo mupa abakubereka amba ku parliament ogia gaguli mba gift Sialubalo ekuzobwa sunu tumayusi bakusina zongwe ba gift Sialubalo bashisa inozi wamba kuti mbimba umbu mnyobereka mbabo kambo ba gift Sialubalo mbemba bo bantu bitu bayoti baliloyo munsaba president banga bakubereka kabo tu ejaja kachitika mu 2011 okuno tatuchandi peko sina zongwe
gift Sialubalo Komu nobe dega muhibati sina zongwe basi alubalo mbo mnobereka limwe basi alubalo bali mupedebule mu bupati maningi answe tumayutho kuno bali tulemerede maningi so twamba kuti amwendele antomwe muli honse hiyoberegwa basi alubalo wabika msigeno
ponya Sialubalo akusya malagwe ula kutala bantu mafota skati ula kutala bantu kumaleti tela kukaranzala sikebo ponya iyo uyati kwezana sikebo yawe nguzisi noyo uyati kwezana sikebo uyati kwezana sikebo sila sangwe njiani sangwe njiani nesiro njiani nesiro njiani nesiro ngungwe
Serve Environment and People Agency SEPA says combating poverty starts with women land rights, hence urging women to stand up for their rights so that they can be able to develop. Organization Chief Executive Officer Miles Muke says ensuring women's land rights and ownership as well as equal rights is crucial in improving the lives of women and their children. Mrs. Muke says women are less likely to be victims of domestic violence if they own land.
With the support from Hewlett and Oxfam America, SEPA again took time to inform, educate, and sensitize the community in Kanyanda area of Zambezi district of Northwestern Province, Zambia, on women land rights. Using the human rights based approach, we as SEPA are confident that when women have access to land, they will have improved feelings of safety and impact through better economic opportunities, social, political empowerment, and also helps to combat poverty and enhance food security. Despite some challenges in Africa, especially culture, norms, and lack of knowledge, land rights for women improves family health and education. Furthermore, women are less likely to be victims of domestic violence through participation in the household decision-making. This will definitely result in reduced gender-based violence, women land rights and ownership, as well as having equal rights by improving of their lives and women and their children.
Still to come is international and sports news. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Alamwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me. Yes! I already know the secrets. Oracle Pure Glycerin!
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
Zambia, your time of spiritual revival and awakening is now. Once again, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chilua invites the nation of Zambia to a 2-day conference on the order of Melchizedek with Dr. Francis VOWS. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill. Dates, 19th and 20th of March 2021. Saturday, 14 hours to 18 hours. Sunday, 09 hours to 12 hours. Make a date with us.
Thank you for still staying with us. In international news, Chad President Idris Deby kicked off his campaign for the 60th term on Saturday, calling for unity after rival protests were banned. The first rally since the start of the official election period on Thursday was held by Deby's Patriotic Salvation Movement at the Parked Stadium in the capital, Germany. Deby, who has ruled for 30 years and he's widely deemed as a shoo-in for another term, said he had fought for national unity while he's drawing a line in the sand for his opponent. On Thursday, 3 opposition candidates quit the race ahead of the April 11th ballot, with one of them, Mohammad Yoski Ibrahim, saying the climate was not favorable for the fair and transparent presidential election. Their withdrawal leaves half a dozen candidates, including Deby, who has ruled the country since 1990. The recent months, demonstrations calling for his resignation have been banned and violently dispersed.
Chad's President Idris Deby has kicked off his campaign for his 6th term in office. On Saturday, he called for unity after rival protests were banned and broken up. The first rally since the start of the official election period on Thursday was held by Deby's Patriotic Salvation Movement (MPS) at the Parked Stadium in the capital, N'Djamena. President Deby has ruled Chad for 30 years and is widely expected to win another term. On Thursday, 3 opposition candidates quit the race ahead of the April 11 ballot, with one of them, Mahama Yusko Brahim, saying the climate was not favorable for fair and transparent presidential elections. Their withdrawal leaves half a dozen candidates, including Deby, who has ruled the country since 1990. In recent months, demonstrations calling for his resignation have been banned and violently dispersed. Deby, a 68-year-old former armed forces chief, pushed through a new constitution in 2018 that reinstated term limits but could let him stay in power until 2033.
Apologies for that. We now take our attention to sports news. Zamfort reports that ZANACO Football Club Sunday edged Warriors by 6 goals to 5 on post-match penalties to set an exciting semi-final clash with LUSAKA'S DYNAMOS in the 2021 ABSA Cup competition. Kabwe Warriors struck first in the 26th minute through Akakuluwega Mwachiaba, who scored a brilliant connection to make it 1-0 in favor of the magnificent People's team. The Warriors managed to hold to their lead in the first stanza. ZANACO, however, came back from the break with a lot of intent, and it only took 5 minutes for the Bankers to draw level through Moses Piri. After end-to-end action, Kabwe Warriors regained the lead with just 9 minutes to go, with the field Candela benefiting from a Prince MUMBA deflected shot to slot home for the close range. With the match headed for the Warriors' win, ZANACO somehow found their way back. Roger Kola poking home from close range after he was first to react to the loose ball 2-2. The match ended. ZESCO will meet KONKOLA Blades in the semi-finals. That sporting item ends our news tonight. The headlines once again. CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI labels the UPND as a tribal and selfish political party. The family of LUSAKA'S CHAZANGA compound left homeless following the collapse of their house. RAPHAEL NAKACINDA'S group continues to haunt MUMBA as it vows to stop the party convention. In international news, Chad President seeks 6th term of office. And in sports news, ZANACO, LUSAKA DYNAMOS, ZESCO and KONKOLA Blades in ABSA semis. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, and it's coming from Isaiah 66 verse 13 to 14, and it reads: As a mother comforts her son, so I will comfort you, and you will be comforted in Jerusalem. You will see, you will rejoice, and you will flourish like grass. Then the Lord's power will be revealed to his servants, but he will show his wrath against his enemies. Well, that's all we could accommodate for you on the news desk. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sharon Kalimbola. Remember to observe the COVID-19 health guidelines and stop the spread of the COVID-19. Good night.